welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Tea with Tender. So I've got my cup of tea here, which is Lipton or Twinings peppermint tea. So that's what we're going to be drinking today. I had a few people come back to me and say, oh, Tatenda, you don't even drink your cup of tea while you're shooting your video. Rest assured, I do drink my tea once I've finished my video. It's a bit difficult for me to stop and give a sipping tea break every single time I'm talking. I'm trying to make the videos as short as I can possibly make them. So I just wanted to say a brief thank you. I'm sure you guys can see that my camera quality has improved drastically. Maybe my audio as well, but the audio will be getting better and better. So I just want to say thank you to the person who blessed me with this camera. I have no words. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Without spending too much time, we're going to get into our next video for today. So today we're going to be discussing why I left social media. So for those of you who know me, and for those of you who are within my sort of inner circle and whatnot, you know that I left Instagram. Not only Instagram, but I left Facebook years ago. I'll say maybe 6 to 5 years ago. Then I left Instagram maybe 2 to 3 years later. And I wasn't on Instagram for nearly 3 years. It was just getting on 3 years this year, but I'm back. I relaunched my Instagram, so I'm back on Instagram. So I just wanted to discuss a few reasons why I left in the first place. Because to be honest, I just kind of disappeared. I didn't really give an explanation or say goodbye or cry and say my goodbyes. It was more of like a cold turkey situation. And I say cold turkey because honestly, Instagram was an addiction to me. I used to have Snapchat as well, but I left Snapchat, you know. So it was like Facebook, Snapchat, then Instagram. WhatsApp was the only social media platform that I had because I never really used my Twitter account, with which WhatsApp I couldn't leave. To this day I can't leave WhatsApp by force and fire. No one can leave WhatsApp. You know, all our church groups, conversations, everything happens on there. So the reason why I had personally left Instagram or social media was because it became a bit of a distraction to me, and I say that in the sense that it got to a point where likes were more important to me than anything else. Like honestly, I lived off likes, and if a picture that I posted, an outfit of the day that I posted didn't get enough likes, I was in my feelings about it. You know, I'll be like, what's wrong with it, blah blah. I'll be trying to understand and investigate and, you know, what's wrong with it, or is it not the right angle, it's not aesthetic enough. It got to that point where I was really centered on likes and what people were liking and stuff. And another thing that really got to me was people following and unfollowing. It got to the point where it became such a thing for me that I had those follower accounts. I know some of you may have them. It's okay, you know. It's this is when I can sip my tea. It's okay. I used to have one of those follower accounts where you can see who's following you, who's unfollowed you, who you're following, who's not following you. I was one of those, and I would monitor it like regularly to see my because it's got to have a good balance, you know. It's all about the balance of followers. You want more people following you than you're following other people. That's the way that it's meant to be. So that's what I would do. If someone unfollowed me, I would unfollow them. I was that petty. It was that real, and it was that deep. It got to the point where I would sit Sunday morning and I'd be thinking, okay, what am I gonna wear? Is this gonna look nice? I need to find time to take photos of this. That's what I was thinking about. Sunday morning, before I go to church, I was thinking about, I need to get my picture, my outfit of the day, my slay pic, and I need to post it up with a good caption. That was my Sunday. That's what my Sunday consisted of. Making sure that I have a great photo with great likes, and I would be content. My week would start off great. Honestly, like really. And I know there are still some people that are dealing with that now, and that it's it's like that for them. And at the end of the day, each to their own. But for me, I found that as an issue for my life, where I started putting likes over Jesus and everything else over to do with social media, Instagram, over just normal things, which is not the way that it's meant to be. You're not meant to be putting that stuff, is not meant to be a priority in your life. Social media is meant to aid, it's not meant to become the main sort of thing. And another thing that sort of made me want to leave Instagram was this fabricated life. And I'm sure other people have noticed it and all, but we tend to only post the good things happening in our lives. That's, you don't want to post that your car broke down. You don't want to post that, you lost your job. Nobody posts that. We post that we bought our car, we got this, we got that, we got this, we got that, And it begins to give people this sort of mentality that everybody's life is perfect, which is not necessarily the case, especially when your life at that time is not going great. It's not the most amazing thing you're in, or it's not the most greatest season that you're in at that time. It's one of those seasons where you're really, you're really battling to just stay afloat, and you go on Instagram and there's people with these perfect bodies, there's people who bought cars, yet your car has broken down for the past 3 weeks and it's at the mechanic. There's people that have got these amazing jobs, their stories at their jobs, and at the present time your job is not being amazing. You work at a fast food joint and you hate being there. Those are some of the things that can really just sort of get into your brain and get you in this mentality that my life is not that great, I'm not that great, I'm not that nice, I'm not that pretty. It got to a point where it was like that for me, where everything to do with social media was just like, there for me. That was it. That was social media or nah. Social media or die was pretty much my Instagram or die. Was pretty much my sort of mentality and thinking at that time. And another thing that really was that it was a constant thing. Like, I would spend hours on Instagram. When I say hours, I mean hours. I could spend a whole day, and I would realize that I've done nothing at all. Yeah, I'm a uni student. Or at that time, was I in uni? I think I was on holidays and stuff. I would spend the whole day and I would have realized I've done nothing. All I've done is spending my entire day scrolling through Instagram, reading people's captions, reading, following, watching memes, laughing at memes, sending memes. I was one of those that sent memes, to people, tag people with memes and whatnot, all that kind of stuff. And I would do that during church as well, and I know there are still some people who do that now as well, but that's okay. That's okay. We're all still transitioning, we're all still getting there. It would get to a point where I was, at church on Instagram, watching Instagram stories, tagging people, just being so disrespectful to God, and all those things together made me come together and be like, nah man, do better, because I realized how much of an addiction it was to me. It became a really, really a big addiction to me. So I was like, you know what, let me cut it off. And I was going into my exam period at that time, and I was still on Instagram, even though I was in exam period, I should be studying. Yeah, I would study for an hour, take an hour break on Instagram. Come on, So I cut it off for two and a bit years. So now I'm here. I'm back on Instagram. Hi. And I've started, posting again. I'm doing Instagram things. I just want to discuss quickly a few things that I learned while I was away for my vacation, Instagram vacation. One thing that I learned is that your circle becomes smaller. When you're not watching everybody else and everybody else is not watching you, the only people you have contact with are the people who have your contacts. the people on WhatsApp, I guess, and the people you were friends with. The only people that know what's happening in your life, what you look like, what you wore on Sunday, are those that were at church on Sunday and know who you are. It's not just everyone and their mom who can follow you. And also one thing I sort of realized, or a revelation that I came across over that time, was that I realized that it became a form of idol worship. Now when I talk about idol worship, I'm talking about, like, you know, the golden calves in the Bible that the Israelites had made. It becomes something like that because at the end of the day, the idols became a god to them. They put the idols over God, essentially. And that's what we do sometimes with these social media things. We end up putting Instagram and bays and all that kind of stuff over God. We wake up in the morning, we think about, you know, the first thing we want to do is text bae. The first thing we want to do is check on Instagram. It becomes more important and more relevant than waking up in the morning and praying, or waking up in the morning and reading your Bible, which is sadly the reality sometimes. And it was sadly the reality with me at that time, that I was putting Instagram over everything else in my life. And I'm so glad that I had that time to reflect and to be able to realize that, and for God to be able to rebuke me and teach me and help me and edify me in my life to a point where I'm now comfortable enough to be on there and have self-discipline. And I encourage everyone else to try this. Encourage everyone to try it. Just take some vacation, and social media vacation. It'll do you some good. You'll be surprised as to how relieved and how calm and how refreshed you'll be when you come back from it. And you'll see a lot of things that you never saw. You have so much self-discipline when you come back that you won't even understand how you were so undisciplined before. So I hope you guys have gained something from this video. I hope you've learned something. I hope maybe someone will try it out. Let me know if you try out your social media vacation and how it goes for you. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for staying. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos, make sure you like. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe and press the bell button down below. You won't miss my videos if you press the bell button. Stay tuned for more videos coming up. They won't necessarily be sit down tea with Tender, but we have some really great stuff coming in the next few months. Once again, thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Mwah.